Good afternoon, Philippines, and of course, this is the ROG UAC featuring League of Legends Wild Rift, and you are now watching the playoffs, and this is the quarterfinals, day 6. I'm OSX, and with me is for Zerk, and we will keep the games flowing with our action of the day, and this is the battle between FIT iTamaraws and PNU SULO.
Yep, this is the second matchup for today. This series again is a best of 5. So
Oh yeah.
very a lot of excitement in store for everyone here today, including us casters. The
Oh
previous series
yes.
was a banger, having the Gearhawks not really, delivering in terms of expectations. On the other hand, it was the Tele-Tigers showing us that they have grown from cubs to, like real big tigers being a
Oh
threat.
yeah.
Potentially the tournament favorite, CPU Golden Lions, which they will go against tomorrow, I believe.
Oh
So
yes, the
this
semifinals.
yeah. So this time it's gonna be the iTamaraws versus Sulo. Like you said, iTamaraws arguably being the favorites in this matchup, but just as the previous series, Sulo, they can pull out an upset just as Tele Tigers did.
Oh yes, and being the full Bloom Tigers are going to be a threat to more semifinals. Let's get to our teams today from FEU iTamaraws and PNU Solo. So how are they going, and how have they prepared for our matches of this quarterfinals? This is going to be our hashtag ROG, and this is interrogation.
Really passionate about this game, everything. It's perfect.
Learning from our mistakes and communication with the people.
As of now, we have been doing scrims against other teams in order to improve our individual skills and overall synergy without jeopardizing our time for academics, of course.
That is our interrogation with the hashtag ROG, powered by the reigning king of gaming smartphones, ROG Phone 5, and that is our first glimpse of our teams of how they will prepared for these matches. It has been a long journey, and the playoffs make or break, and this will give it the chance to raise that campus torch anytime soon. I Tamaraos PNU going strong with the overall standing in 11-8. What do you think of this, for Zerk?
Well, personally, I have to sorry, I have
It's okay.
to set my allegiance with Itamaros, like I said. But
Mm-hmm.
just because of the outcome of the previous series, I'm kind of a 50-50. Not no, I'm still gonna side with Itamaros. So I could be wrong, but uh, it's just the consistency that Itamaros have shown, being 3-0 and 2 heading into this matchup compared to PNU's 2-1 and 2 score in the group stage. It just shows statistically as well that iTamaraws have a more stable platform to stand on heading into this series, especially because um there are veterans in their team coming from LoL PC.
Oh
So
wow.
that's something to be very mindful of.
Oh yes, and there's a bit of a few transitions when applying to mobile from the PC version, but I think what makes it a different edge in making or entering this competition is you have a handful of champions that you have already mastered, which is they have different metas in the PC and in the mobile version. I think what makes Wild Rift so unique is it's a different way of executing these champions. It's much more easier on others. It can be challenging on some, but what makes it so awesome is they get to have few more champions in. Right now, we have Irelia and Riven already, which still cannot be played right now.
Yeah, I'm very excited, however, for the time that they are allowed to be brought out because
Oh yes.
just personally speaking, especially since I am a coach of on a professional team for Wild Rift, Irelia,
Mm.
Riven, they are extremely viable. So right now, however, I'm not sure if Renekton is actually permabanned or not, but he's in a very um good spot in terms of the meta. But I don't think we've seen him just yet.
Oh yes, but I think they're trying to take a slower pace with Renington because there's a bit of a few adjustments in. In the PC version, you could either make him as a top lane or a jungle, but sometimes on this now in Renekton, there's still a lot of challenges on making him the meta right now. But in the patch notes of 2.3, he's one of the buff champions as well. So we have Blitzcrank, Kennen. But speaking of our champions, we are now heading it on for the drafting and banning phase, and let's take it with Ferzerk to make its initial predictions. Take it away, man.
Right, so it's gonna be the Aryan Camille ban for the side of who is this?
Hmm.
FIT. It's a Ziggs hover for them too. And against them it's gonna be the Gragas and Janna ban. So that's a flex pick Gragas being banned and Janna the arguably best defensive support, but it's gonna be a lock-in for the Ziggs. So we have seen in the previous series what a Ziggs can do in
Oh
terms of
yes.
shredding, in terms of scaling into the late game. So it's definitely something that FIT can make use of very well, given how they play. And on the other side, it's going to be a Rengar and Galio getting locked in.
Hmm.
Rengar making it through the bans, actually. And this is a very good pairing. Galio can be flexed mid and support as well. So very good picks coming out so far for both of these teams.
Oh yes, we have the Braum. He never goes out of style. No, the classic passive, the concussive blows. Corki as well. Combination of Ziggs and Corki. On the late game, they would have that awesome takedown in making some waves of taking some aces or isolated captures. But for the side, Fiora goes in for Blasphemy. Blasphemy goes in for Fiora rather, and this is going to be probably in the top lane. And for another follow up there for the fourth pick, you have Zmice as Diana. Oh, this one around. Similar champion picks from the previous group stages for Zerg.
So it seems like the SULO squad are opting to go for a more split push type comp with that Rengar being able to pressure the side lanes with a ultimate that he has. Fiora split pushing perhaps in the Baron lane, Diana in the Dragon lane, we'll have to see. But that's what they're going for. They have the global support as well from the Galio's ultimate. So it's gonna be a different sort of team comp because the iTamaraws are going for a team fight heavy comp with that Garen frontline engage from that Wukong, double coming from that Ziggs and Corki. So two very distinct ways of team compositions in this first match.
Oh, it's interesting inside of FIT and PNU. Kaiser, you have the classic, of course, Flaco with the hero's entrance and Zmice as Kaiser. He never goes out in the picks during the game since ROG UAC Season 2 started. And as well as Garen being one of the nerf champs, Garen being in the top lane, he has full control of the sweeps, also takedown of the turrets because his first skill can totally gives enough time for a jungler to give a follow up, and as well as now, we're currently in the game, and with the early face off this time, we have Zmice taking the first hit, and the auto connects to the last hit of Garen. Speaking of which, that's 3-0 already for Zerg for PNU Solo.
Okay, so that's very unexpected. I mean, for us especially getting into the game, we already see a 0-3 in favor of PNU Solo, 1.5k gold lead. I'd actually love to see who those skills went, whose pockets those skills went into, because that's very substantial if all of those skills went to just one person. So obviously Sulo right now is definitely ahead in terms of morale, one, and number two gold, of course, and number three tempo.
Oh yes, tempo, the gold, all the faces in this game needs to be inside of PN Nuzulon FIT. But for the early engage, I think they were trying to seal off some vision in some early takes or steals in the red bramble back. So they were trying to have it in. But Ao takes in for the last stack of Z-Mice, which keeps the Acathan rain flowing. If you're a full stack, you better be out of the range, because if it connects to you, that'll be the end of you. So it's still a 0-3 right now, and as far as we are seeing it, they're trying to basically hold some objectives right now, and we have Fiora trying to get it for the early engage. Oh, for the seal of the scuttle, they have control, but the knockback goes in, and now with the first initial kill, PNU Solo continues to make it a 4 kills already, and that is Yato takes down for that early fall.
And this is very good for Sulo because all of their champions are very snowball heavy. We have the Rengar, we have the Diana, we have the Fiora. Kai'Sa as well can actually snowball pretty hard. Um, While the iTamaraws side, it's Ziggs who needs to scale, Corky who needs to scale, and the SULO team being 2.4k gold up right now in the early game. This is actually, if we have this sort of scenario, look at it from a professional standpoint, this is already game over. But given that this is collegiate, a lot of things can still happen. FIT Tamaraws, if they can execute their team fight to perfection, especially when it comes to this first Drake, they can still win this definitely.
Yes, I believe in what you said, Berserk. And now, as I try to take it through 3v1 and feeding it now to Z-Maze, going in full for another kill down, and that's 5-0, taking down Blank for that engage from Rangar. You know what's scary is because Blasphemy can easily come out the brushes and the tri brushes, and as well as there are a lot of sneak attacks that can actually execute. But right now we're seeing Orphic trying to get in for another spam and just try to hold on the lane while Black is going back to support his the ADC. But so far for now, they're trying to maintain control of the lanes, and probably they need to maintain vision because Blasphemy can in any time soon he can just easily just jump in, and that is the total core strength of a Rengar.
Yeah, definitely right. You are. Flacco, that was a very good taunt to dissuade the Cyclones getting used by Orphic from this Wukong. So right now, pace of the game has slowed down. Rengar has no ult. It's gonna be up soon, maybe in 30 seconds or so. But FIT Tamaraws, they should know better and play a bit more conservative because they can't afford to let this gold gap further increase right now.
Oh yes, and as you've mentioned, the snowball possibility lineup from PNU solo might happen if FIT Tamaraws doesn't seem to seize this possibility of taking them in this early game. You have Blank, you have Senior, as well as you have Yato to take in for some early ganks and kills. But right now 0-5, and as they try to fix the composition in, they will still have the first way of taking some ganks down. But Yato takes in for the Luden's Echo right now. Blasphemy is just trying to maintain the control of the vision in the river, and the Scuttlers are still both of them are on their side, and probably this is going to be the first take of the Drake, and Peninsula is going to be the lock or the first one to get the hits in.
Yep, it's gonna be a 5v4 here in the Dragon side of things though.
Oh, there goes there's the rain. Try to split it out together, but no, here comes Flacco trying to get in for the engage and the shield, but the entrance of the Super Mega Inferno Bomb goes through the damage. The ult pops in, but that is FIT maintaining the first line of defense. The Drake has not been touched at all with the low HP. That is Z-Mice trying to escape the wrath of Senior, but now they try to continue, but Blasphemy goes in for the jump, and the low HP goes in for the shield for Blank as they try to move back a bit. And let's try to recalculate what happened, and let's take it for a slower pace here.
Yeah, I mean, PNU solo, they already had the advantage coming from Anito split pushing on that Fiora. I don't think they had to overcommit in contesting for that dragon. So because they did, they were definitely punished for it. As we see, 2 kills being rewarded to Tamaraws for punishing them like that.
And for that, they're just trying to hold off some lanes, push in some minions, and we'll try to see the items here. Ziggs has already the Luden's Echo as well. And probably Brom going for the support items, the basic support items. And I think for Guy's gonna go for the Sunfire Cape. He's gonna need to deflect those hits coming from Fiora. With the Triforce already, so he needs to get more some farming objectives in order to make some items work for Garen.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely, the tank is a bit behind in terms of itemization. This was definitely attributable to the pretty disadvantageous start coming from FIT Tamaraws, but now both teams are wanting to contest this Rift Herald.
Yeah,
Again,
they
similar
want
situation. Anito is still split pushing again in the bottom side.
Oh yes, he has the full power to literally push in. Fiora has the burst and he has the wave kills, but right now they're trying to wait it in. There's the jump and the 3-man knock-up goes in, but there's no fall-off there. Was well trying to hit from the backlines. Oh, PNU is taking so much damage, and the Flacco being taken out, and now we're trying to maintain this, and that is still another Rift Herald taken by FIT for that engage.
Very interesting turn of events right here, because SULO, once again, they just repeat the mistake that they just made in the Dragon. They knew that side lane pressure was secured already, by Anito. Anito was able to take down the bottom lane tier 1 tower. They again did not need to commit for that fight. So I think the more Sulo does this sort of commits this sort of mistake, this is just gonna benefit iTamaraws more and more because they're gonna be able to catch up in gold.
Oh yes, that is the most essential part of this objectives right now. So try to wait and see. You don't want to be in the late game for the side of PNU syllabus because they're trying to secure some vision and as well as they're trying to secure in some defenses down for FIT. 4 to 5, getting in closer. The gold is not too far for PNU on this side, but as they try to build this, PNU has already maintained the Triforce. You have ROA for Diana. Probably is gonna need that for the early for the engages with his ultimate and as well as a follow up of her dash because she might be the first target here to be taken down because there are a lot of champions AD heavy damage champions that can have full potential side of FIT. But now Blasphemy just totally engaged in that turret. Right now it's 3 versus 1, but Ignite has been started. But will it still leave that mark? Oh, Yato is still alive for Zerk.
Yeah, it's a good proactive play coming out from Blasphemy on that Rengar. Just a bit lacking in the damage department. Something interesting though that I just saw right now. The Rift Herald was actually secured by Blasphemy. So what happened a few minutes ago, that was advantageous for Sulo. But you know, they still have yet to use it. So I think their plan is to use it in the mid lane, maybe to distract FIT iTamaraws from contesting this next dragon. We'll have to see.
Oh yes, this is the most important one, the Infernal Drake for Zerk, as they want to control this, we're seeing PNU Solos is trying to maintain and just take down some visions or rewards in because they would expect Yato or even Orphic to just jump in. You know, it can be a deceive or it can get diversion. But now Blasphemy just taking the Scuttler's Crab, and right now he's just taking vision and providing the fact for his team that they have full control of this area. They can take this opportunity, but Orphic is still waiting to get his might locked down for this Infernal Drake.
So the Drake's just going to get pulled by Sulo right here, not really wanting to overcommit, especially because they know that Ziggs and Corki can poke them out.
Oh, they have started the fight, and FIT has taken the first hit for the Infernal Drake, and now they're waiting for PNU Solo to engage. Oh, with the ultimate, being 4-man, being sucked down together, and the ultimate goes in for Ao. While they having for the backlines and support for the damage, a Grand Challenge has been initiated. Flaco takes in for another burst coming in from Fiora, but no, he's still going back for the auto will not connect for Milen, and as well as Flaco still maintains the safety, but we have FIT maintaining securing that Infernal Drake.
Oh, FIT really showing us that they can execute their team comp really, really well. This is what I was talking about in terms of 5v5. iTamaraws really have the advantage here, especially because Milen on the Diana, as we can see here in the replay, she opted to go in first, and that's not really what you want to be doing on Diana. You want to be there to clean up after, so he's forced out of the fight really early, while the iTamaraws just stick together and move forward as a team, dishing out so much DPS.
Oh yes, the damage. If the Acathan Ray connected correctly with additional damage, he can totally easily wipe those two champions from the side of FIT. They were too vulnerable in that state, but right now it's 3 vs 1. Ao takes in for the damages, absorbing it, but it's not enough to maintain safety for the turret. But now it's just we're seeing PNU sometimes to keep on playing and just pushing the minions further in the side of FIT.
So this is what PNU Sulo should be doing, playing on their side lanes exactly like that. They do, however, lose their top tier 1 tower, and that's eventually really going to fall anyway. But I like the proactiveness of Sulo to go for plays that involve playing towards their split pushers. So that's something I want to keep seeing all throughout this game, and perhaps throughout the series if they decide to draft similar ways like this game.
Oh yes, best of 5 is still a long way to go, but if you started this first score, it changes everything. Maintaining the phase is a different one. So if you want to take on your mistakes on the first game, you can take it to the second game. It can be possible. A reverse sweep can happen as PNU Solo maintains the side lanes. The potential of snowballed champions in their draft can still maintain strong, but FIT still putting up a good fight and maintaining their champ selection as well. Ziggs with the Ludens probably going for the Rabadons next. He needs that additional damage. The ultimate of Ziggs is a big way of contributing for Blank's Glacial Fissure. You know, having that ultimate on a full scale plus you will have the extra damage coming in from Corki. They have the initial they will have initial allowance of slow time to take on a need to out or maybe Z-Mice out of the way. So if Blasphemy just coming in from the back lines, they need probably to secure Orphic might or rather has the chance to maybe hold some damages because only Ow or Orphic or Ow, Blank, and Orphic are these three champions that can easily hold them off if ever the ultimate continues to connect properly.
Yeah, definitely agree with you here. I also like the Solari, the shield pickup for Boot and Chant from Blanc right here. Really,
Yeah.
it's just a tap, and you're gonna get some shields. Really enabling the backline to survive in case they get dove by the Rengar, the Diana, and maybe even the Fiora and Galio. So
Oh,
that's a really
yes.
good pickup right there. On the other side, Flaco as well, great pickup on the Force of Nature. Magic damage is really the issue right here coming out from the Corki and the Zig. So I like that pickup first instead of the typical items getting picked up by Galio first.
For sure, man, for sure. And this will be their core damage that they can give for PNU. So if ever they decide to take this Baron, the games might change or the pace of the game might change because as we enter the mid to late game, this will be a problem on the side of FIT if they cannot still withstand the power or the damage that they'll come from PNU. Because if they can still hold this through and maintain that discipline, they can still get their scores in. But as they wait to have this Baron to be taken, we have a PNU taking the first blows for the Baron.
Seems like it's gonna be an objective
Oh, trade.
right
Oh,
here.
yeah. This will be an objective trade, but if this one goes to PNU without any contest at all, they would have the chance to push further. But now we are seeing Yato just trying to have this spam and poke, but not enough for Flacco and as well for Milen to take him in because as he's trying to maintain vision for that trade of the Drake, I think the Baron is still the essential objective to be taken right now to push further in the base of iTamaraws.
And with 50% of the wave clear gone, fights are breaking up.
Oh, they're starting with the knock-up there. 3-1 with a follow-up with the 2, and the follow-up goes for FIT, while Z-Mice goes for the last hit. The auto will connect, but that is the hero's entrance, probably placed in the proper center, but no, that is the one hit connecting from the FIT, maintaining that backline strategy. And as they want to get this, to keep the kills flowing, Anito on the other side is being chased down from that take, but that is the grand challenge activated for the escape or maybe for the initiate, but that is 3 versus 1. She can still maintain it, but the damage still is not enough to maintain, but he is still holding it together. Ow! And Blank with a follow, but this is Blasphemy. Come to take you in, but not gonna be enough for that engage. They have still decided to retreat back there.
Yeah, that's a really great fight found by FIT iTamaraws, knowing that they have a lot of resources still yet to be used. Finding that great fight in the mid tier 2, but stepping a bit back, talking about the trade of objectives before that fight happened. Securing the Drake does benefit iTamaraws for the late game. SULO on the other hand, getting the Baron means that they have to really push forward right now because the longer the game goes, FIT's the iTamaraws team comp just gets scarier and scarier.
Oh yes, going for the late game, they can still hold it. They are probably building the possibilities of the early takedowns, but Corki here has the try for as well as the Infinity Edge for Zerk, and combining Magic and AD this time it can be a possible way of maintaining enough damage to take down Z-Mice or even Blasphemy out. They need to pick off one to maintain another clash this time.
Yeah, also Senior having that exhaust ready to be used against either the Rengar or the Diana is gonna be very clutch for their next big fight. So SULO, it seems like they weren't able to really make use of their Baron buff to take down a single tier 3 inhibitor turret. So that's very, very good for iTamaraws. Despite being down 6k, I think they're actually in a pretty okay spot to still win this game.
Oh yes, totally. And FIT, while they maintain this discipline, they will have the tables will turn for them. And if they maintain this, they have 3 Jakes already for FIT. They have a fallbacks in the gold lead, but for the take of the Drakes and the objective, FI Timer maintains that, and as they try to keep on with the pace of the game, they will still have another contest fight. But as they want to have this, on their side as well, they need to push some minions in. But looking at the items right now in the side of PNU SULO, you were seeing Kaisa taking the IE. Also, you have the Runans, the Blade of the Wing King. Attack damage, stack power, activated for the second skin is on, and as well as Fiora, Triforce, and also you have the Sterax Rage, and as well as Death Dance. Burst of Power might come in, and as well as Vanguard, just prioritizing the Triforce and the Guardian Angel because he might be the first one to be taken down by either Ao or Senior if he advances in. But Orphic is still on the other side, has the G as well. They have the contest, but they will. It's still going to be played in the proper setup. But Ao is trying to clear some waves in with the Nito. These top laners has to finish some sort of issue in maintaining the lanes here. So try to have the start of the Grand Chalice been popped out, and an Owl goes in. 2 versus 1 with a follow-up Blasphemy there. Isolated, and that is another takedown for PNU with a follow-up knock up there by Orphic, but that was the mirror. And for this, they're just trying to keep on with the spam. So 4 versus 5 as they maintain this. FIT has to delay this one.
Yep, that's a very good use of the Rengar ult right there. Again, playing towards side lanes. As we do see Flaco going in, get shoved out.
Oh yeah, gets stunned. Oh, the stun. You have very control. Ultimate has been popped out in the FIT, and as they try to have it on their way of making this disable from Z-Meister, trying to focus on the triple kill, feeding down Senior, and Blasphemy goes out. He was totally outnumbered there. What a power play for FIT by using that diversion.
Yo, the front to back is just too strong. I don't think
Yeah.
Blasphemy can do anything to stop this turret from going down. Even flashes out. So it's gonna be a 2 tower takes here for the side of iTamaraws. Not really securing the Drake right here. It's take a look at this replay to see how things went down. I think Flaco tried to flash in and get a 4-man taunt, but he got stunned. So that didn't really play out to his advantage. And just after that, continuous fight, continuous DPS from the side of iTamaraws won them that fight definitely. Oh, wait,
yes.
what?
What? They have pushed it already. FIT didn't make any miscalculations of retreating back. Taking in for this one, FIT iTamaraws takes in the score. Wow, for sure. That was totally
Okay,
fast.
so before we got to that replay, we did see a teleport being channeled onto the mid lane. So I feel like the call was to not really go for that Elder Drake, but to just outright end the game because we do know that the Rengar was the sole person up at that
Oh,
point
yes.
in time, and his flash was already burned, and both Ziggs and the Corki were still there to deal damage down, to shred down those towers. So I guess that's their call. It's just a bit of a head scratcher, I guess, on my part because I was just really caught off guard that when we came off from the replay, it was
Oh,
already
yes.
Nexus almost destroyed.
Yeah, and you've mentioned it was a bit of a challenge for Blasphemy to take in some damage from the front and the back end of that clash. So I think iTamaraws has already seen the opportunity. If we take some another Baron or maybe push in some towers, that they might be delayed for the possibility if they will be taken down by PNU SULO. But because I think the opening point of taking down that base while we were watching the replays because Blasphemy was the only one to hold off FIT, right?
Right, definitely. And I honestly don't think there's any problem with the draft of the iTamaraws. I think they should have just executed a bit better what their team composition's win condition is.
Oh,
So
yeah.
play for side. I mean, they did do that, but they kind of took their time, before going for plays like that. In the early game, they were so good. They went
Oh,
up
yes.
5-0, but they kind of dropped the ball there, going for too many greedy plays, like having a Fiora split push, but at the same time the rest of their members contesting the first dragon or the first Rift Herald, things like that. I don't think they should be too greedy in that regard. So I feel like if they played the game a bit cleaner, which I
Mhm.
hope they will in the second match because they've proven that they can go toe to toe with the iTamaraws, then for sure they can find the win against their opponents.
They will. A best of five first work is a long way to go because in this a kind of a game setup, reverse sweep might happen because if they've taken the first mistakes from this first game, they would totally have a different composition to make their champion picks work. So that first game is brought to you by our partners and sponsors, and this wouldn't be a thing without them. So UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, ASUS. Where the hell come? Sorry, ASUS ROG Phone 5, and next is our Logitech G, Riot Games, and as well as Twitch Student, our platform partner, and as well as this tournament is presented by ASUS Republic of Gamers, powered by the reigning king of gaming smartphones, the ROG Phone 5, with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888. And with a 144 Hz of AMOLED display with a massive 6,000 battery to take your gaming experience to the next level for those who dare. Go ahead and check and get one for yourself in any ASUS and ROG stores accredited nationwide, or hop onto rog.acadarena.com to check it out. I am lost for words on what happened that first game because this is the playoffs, quarterfinals already for Zerk, and heat just starts to continue from the first match of the day.
Definitely, I do feel the heat generated from both SULO and iTamaraws. I think both of these teams are ready, are gunning to really showcase what all their training has led them to become.
Mm-hmm.
The lots of growth as we've seen in the previous series. UST Tigers really growing up. I think right now iTamaraws and SULO have both respectively improved as well in their own sort of style, of playing the game.
Oh
So
yeah.
iTamaraws being a bit more controlled and macro reliant, I would say, and Sulo being more aggressive, really looking to draft picks that can catch people off guard, like like the Rengar pick, So uh I'm very
Mm-hmm.
excited to see what sort of adjustments Sulo and maybe Itamaros will put forth, because that first game, what happened there, the first event was in Filipino, rambulan.
Oh yeah.
It was a clash of five people there without the first waves spawning yet. It's just that Sulo really pulled out on top there, and I don't there's really no macro involved there. It's just micro, maybe skewed a bit more towards Sulos
Mm-hmm.
team composition early. But I mean, Itamaros did have the Braum there, so maybe a bit of adjustment in terms of who's where in the before the first wave start as well. So
Uh-huh.
so the Itamaros can avoid that sort of situation.
Yes, I agree with you. And they have good composition there, but we were actually channeling the way of PNU was securing already the side of a possible late game. We have mentioned during the banning stages they have the snowball, they have the snowball possibility of the champions to be funneled in, but on the side of FIT they were trying to maintain this burst and as well as crowd control on their side as well. So I think PNU was trying to secure also the possibility that they can still have a chance in their late game stage of the first for this first wave, and maybe waiting for that opportunity might get in the way of FIT trying to take some possible or early possible takes that they can maintain, and as well as a result that in that Elder Drake was totally not the target at all. But it was totally the initiating flash that you were waiting for.
Yeah, definitely right you are, and it's just Itamaros, if we look at it from an execution point of view, I think that the Itamaros were just able to execute their win condition a bit better, and that came naturally because um when team fights were brewing, resulting from the spawn of objectives, neutral objectives, they just played that very straightforwardly. They knew what they had to do, and they delivered. So Sulo on the other hand, I'm not sure if they were too clear on their win condition. Hopefully, they can reassess and reflect on what they could have done better, and take it as a generalization heading into the next game. Because again, this is a best of five series, and this is just the first game. So, although Itamaras are pulling ahead right now, 1-0, we are, and as I say that, we're already here, stuck in the pick and ban phase for the second game. I think that it's still anybody's game.
Oh, yes. And while we had our first initial prediction for this champion picks, and of course, shout out to our partners at Logitech G. If you're looking to supercharge your gaming setup so you can keep playing, check out Logitech's amazing gear at logitech.acadarena.com or type exclamation point Logitech G in the chat for a 175 discount for a minimum purchase of 1750 on any Logitech G product. So get your game on and hashtag keep playing. Right now, for Zerg is going to make his initial predictions for this composition for game two.
So it's gonna be the same bans coming out for both teams, I believe, except that Ziggs is now banned from the side of by the side of Sulo. It was a Jana before, so they don't want to
Yes.
deal with OS Ziggs anymore, and I understand why. And they're going to be drafting something very similar to what they had before. It's gonna be another 1-3-1 comp with that Rengar punishing side lanes. Hopefully this time around, they'll execute a bit better. On the other side of things, it looks like it's gonna be a 4-1 comp, with a one-person split push comp from the iTamaraws side, having that Fiora on the side lanes, Corky poke. But no, I think it seems like the iTamaraws are gonna
Fizz.
be matching the
Oh,
1-3-1 with their own
yes.
1-3-1. So very interesting. So I think this Fizz is picked by O as a response to this Diana. So this is something I'm very curious to seeing how it will play out, because this is we don't see a lot of Fizz,
You
and
don't.
collegiate. So it's
In
very
collegiate,
exciting for
no,
me.
no. It is. It's very exciting to see Fizz again and to have this on this match game too. I think iTamaraws was gonna take another step forward. But PNU solo, I also loving the pick of Rengar again. They're still maintaining the Rengar lineup again as well as Garen and Saya. You get to have the chance. The second wave of hits from that Feather Storm might come in handy for Blasphemy's setup of her ultimate, and not to mention you have Jana taking in for the forecast to disrupt team clashes or sets in the side of iTamaraws that can possibly happen if Blank sets up Glacial Fissure properly.
Right, and a very interesting draft right here from Sulo. So they have a lot of peel in the form of Saya and Jana. They have a front line in the form of a Garen, and but they have the I think the problem here for PS, there's really no hard engage. There's no Jarvan, there's no Vi. It's a doable comp. However, it's a bit trickier to pull off compared to the team comp that FIT have drafted for themselves, because there's a bit more agency, a bit more tools to really bring forth proactive plays on the side of FIT Itamaraws. But something interesting too is it's gonna be a jungle phase.
Oh, wow. Another change of ties here for Orphic. A jungle fizz. You don't see this every day at ROG UAC. So, guys, we're starting back with the second game for PNU Solo and FITI Tamaraos. And this tournament is presented by ASUS ROG Phone 5, the reigning king of gaming smartphones. But before we head on, guys, don't forget to follow AcadArena on TikTok to have the chance for the first 1,000 followers to have a weekly giveaway. So follow that on TikTok right now. But right at this moment, let's make our time tick and talk for our game two with First Jerk.
It's pretty nice there, Sex. And right now you can see a lot of action here. Look at top lane. Oh, really?
Oh,
Asserting
early.
dominance.
Oh, you know what's annoying about Darius is because of his passive, the hemorrhage.
Yes.
If no matter how tanky you are, if you sometimes you forget the fact that I've been hitting by the cleaver thrice already, and not seeing the fact that anytime the guillotine might come in and just smite me down. But on this, I'm looking forward on this matchup with Anito and Al to maintain this lane. As right now, he's totally being aggressive in taking down again. He might have the silence, but the damage for early game might be on the side of Darius. But as of this, Orphic, pretty interesting to see a jungle fizz, and as we're trying to spam it out, trying to exchange some autos on the mid lane for Turk.
Yeah, this is true. It might be a double scut here being secured by Sulo. However, just because there was very strong priority secured by their bot lane duo, we did see a recall being forced by them onto Senior early. Not sure if he caught that on cam, but that's what basically gave Sulo the priority to secure that double scuttle play for themselves. But we did see Yato on this Fiora making full use of that counter matchup against the Diana, as well as on this Darius, again finding that pull onto Garen, doing very well.
Yes. Oh, here comes the follow-up. Nasumi on the jump. Out takes in. Oh, another ouchie move there. And maintaining the last hit, auto connects. And PNU takes the first blood.
So again, this is 2 for 2 already in terms of finding kills first on this Rengar. Last game, we saw Blasphemy finding a successful gank using the Rengar ult as soon as it was up. We see it this time again. So really good start by the SULO jungler right here. It will surely be up come the spawn of the first Drake, which is an Ocean Drake. It's not, the best Drake to really contest. I'm curious to see if iTamaraws will actually opt to give that up and go for a first tower play in the Baron lane instead. But, on this Darius, despite the nerfs, hold on a sec.
Z-Maze connects with the auto. Senora on big trouble, but that is a Fissure popped up for safety, but that's a knock up. Another hungry kill coming in from Flacco's support, but Z-Maze not enough to make that damage to take down Braum for that moment. But for the meantime, that was a good way to defend, to retreat back in the turret, because if he takes 2 more kills for Z-Maze, it's just gonna be stacked up. But right now she has the Infinity Edge as early as now for Zerk.
Yeah, really great play actually from the bottom lane of SULO. The bottom lane of iTamaraws had no idea that the duo bot was just waiting in ambush and one of the lane guards right there. A very well orchestrated play, giving themselves a 1.5k gold lead heading into the spawn of the first Drake. It seems like river control is going to be secured by SULO as well. So I don't think they'd want to be starting this Drake. However, given that they have a Rengar, he wants to be jumping on people, being the one to be jumped on. So we'll have to see that.
You know what? This is my challenge. Orphic jumping in, and as well as Blasphemy. Another funny challenge to have this on this first Drake, but this is one big party to be started in, but the knockback goes in, but then a follow-up airborne goes to follow through from PNU, so maintaining that hit from the backline. You have a blank focus on the hits for Flacco, but they are focused on taking down one more member for FIT for the escape, and that was Yato, still maintaining the damage. The riposte is still the best way to deflect those hits.
This is a very well thought out entrance by PNU SULO, having Anito on this Garen serve as a vanguard, entering the contest of this dragon fight. And guess what? The reward was the Drake falling to their pockets. As we see in this replay, we do see Garen marching forward here on their team. Rengar ult getting popped, although Fizz ult was used, it was just too late, and the fight fell in favor to SULO right here, having ZMAs on that Saya, just having a free hit opportunity from the backside.
Oh yes, they had the opportunity there, but the follow-up was still missing. But the damage still maintains with PNU. The lineup and the item builds as well. Look at it. Look at our items progress right now. I think for Zerk, for this time you have IE for Saya, and probably Janice going for the full mana items, and as well ROA probably the best item to go with Diana. She needs to get a bit of a tankier. She needs to have the tankier side as well for the engages. Triforce for Rengar to get magic damage in the possible faster hits, because the auto is the best way to deal some damage coming in from the brushes. And Garen as well to deflect those crits and damages from Darius, and as well as for Fiora, he needs to have this Sunfire Cape as well.
Indeed. And talking about itemization, the person with the most gold on the side of FIT iTamaraws right now is Yato on that Fiora. So I feel like iTamaraws should be playing more towards Yato right now. I think he should be the one split pushing and not the Darius. But given that, seems like SULO are comfortable to just finish or commit to this Rift Herald, that's gonna fall into their hands. So really good play right there from SULO. So iTamaraws just giving that for free. I think they will be rewarded with this cross map play. Tier 1 tower getting taken down here for the Dragon Lane.
Oh yes, PNG maintaining the phase of making themselves hungry for more objectives and kills. That's the jump, and the escape goes in for Orphic, but that he's just totally caught up in that net. But no, he's not gonna be up here from extended engage. But for this, Z-Mice has swapped lanes at the top side for PNU. So as maybe trying to have this way on their side, they might need some to get some farming in the side of PNU as well.
Yeah, that is true. A bit of tempo wasted by SULO trying to punish that cross map play from the
Mm-hmm.
iTamaraws right there. So a bit of a stabilization here for tempo and momentum for iTamaraws, which is good for them because they were coming from a pretty hefty gold deficit right now. As we do see, the next Drake is about to spawn in less than a minute. I feel like iTamaraws are going to be comfortable enough to contest this time around, and hopefully in a more how do you say, more well planned out manner.
Oh yeah.
PNU Solo, on the other hand, are definitely going to be looking for a pick off because Rengar ult is up right now. He wants to be finding the head of one of the squishies in the name of Senior, in the name of Yato. Maybe not Yato because Yato could probably handle the Rengar on his own. But if he can't find the pick off onto this Kai'Sa, especially because Braum is there for protection, then it might be a bit hard for PNU Sulo to, fight for this dragon.
Yes, and the late game possibility might still fall in the side of a senior as well as decide to make some a far or some take some minions in as well as side objectives. Having that to grow, taking the first item for the Blade of the Ruben King is the best way to get her second skin and as well as her passive to add more stacks and having double damage in teams as maintaining it from the backlines is an essential way to provide some damage in the side of FIT. But as of this time, they're trying to peek and sneak up upon this Drake. But Anito is trying to take in the first glance for the defense, but no initiation follow-up coming in. But I think PNU Solo is taking this one. No initiation and follow-up inside of FIT, but yeah, there's coming from the back. There's the knock-up and the side back. And the stun is still making through the decision where it's going to be popped. And the 3-man knock-up boils through. And the follow-up of the ultimate of Anito maintains the damage. And being in the middle enemy lines, they continue to fight PNU Solo, trying to take down one more member, Yato, for the hit. That is Zmais taking in for the ace and taking that Drake.
Ooh, really great execution by Sulo there. But in that team fight, Nito once again serving as the vanguard, and Milen this time around on this Diana was able to find a really great ultimate, as we can see right here. Eyes on the Diana right here. Watch as he goes in finding that really great ultimate knock up as well coming out from Blanc, but despite that, just the damage coming out from ZMAs as well as Blasphemy on this Rengar was enough to pull them through that fight.
Oh yes, they had the upper hand and advantage. The power and burst from Blasphemy is totally on the side. He was totally waiting on the brush first and maintaining the way of taking that Drake, and you will have full advantage of taking down some turrets. And as you can see, there's still no tower traded in the top and the bottom turrets in PNU and FIT.
Yeah, that is true. Something I also failed to mention was Senior in that fight was actually locked outside of the dragon pit, and as I say that, he falls down actually. So I think that's Rengar ult. That's the doing of Rengar ult once again. So Blasphemy really showing us that this Rengar pick is cashing in. This has been working so well for Sulo despite they lost in the previous game. This time around finding more success, and it's gonna be the Baron slowly getting whittled down.
Oh, this one, Al going for the last hits for the hemorrhage, but not going to be enough. But this time, Orphic doesn't get the opportunity to take that Smite challenge, but that is PNU Solo. Blasphemy taking the hand of Baron. So this is going to be additional time of push. And the items right now for Zerk, where are we heading for these stages of the game?
Also, looking at the items, definitely person in the lead right now is ZMAs having the most gold in the game. Actually, very piecewise build, but something I want to point out is he helps to take that that tenacity style for boots. As I say this though, Blasphemy once again flashing in.
Oh
man.
2 versus 1 Blasphemy again with a takedown with another hit of the hemorrhage, but with a follow-up again for the 3-man engage with a follow-up for the Glacial Fisher ultimate to hold back up Zima.
So it seems like Zeabase comes in not really afraid, having the support of that Janna right here flashing. However, coming out from O, but he fails to execute this Saya, and it's still going to be Sulo coming out at an advantage right here. Meanwhile, on top side of things, Diana versus Fiora, who will come out on top? I feel like it's definitely going to be Yato. This is a counter matchup for him, so that is for sure. As Yato slices the head of Diana, it falls down, and right now SULO is in full control. However, because of that play from Yato, things once more stabilize, and it's still not over until it's over, folks. Right now, I think my body OSX has experienced a bit of technical difficulties. So I'll be taking over for a while right now. So PNU SULO are posturing here in the mid lane. Seems like they want to take control over this side of the map, knowing that the next dragon is soon to spawn. It's going to be the Cloud Drake. That's definitely going to be helping out Blasphemy right here. It seems like once more going to get caught out. He has no flash this time around, and there is also a bunch of people to help Blasphemy to attempt to take him down. But however, he is there safe under the protection of the tier 2 tower in the Dragon Lane. But the reward of this is priority over the third Cloud Drake here, folks. So this is for sure going to fall into the hands of SULO. They have the DPS to just shred this dragon down. So iTamaraws have to give this up and prepare for their next play, which I believe is getting thwarted right here from this flank by Anito right here. So another fight is brewing right here. Flashed out though, coming out from no one actually, just walking out casually from that fight. So SULO not really finding a fight that they would like to get into, you know. So but just a bit of a how do you say, reminder for themselves. Hey, let's not push where during times that we don't need to push our momentum. Let's take a reset, spend our gold, and set up for next play. There are still two outer tier 2 towers here. Again, oh my gosh, Blasphemy finding another person, finding another victim. This time it's the key player on the side of the FIT Tamaraws. It's gonna be Yato falling down. However, on the other side of the map, Anito gets caught off guard 2v1. This is the Fizz. Orphic shredding down. Lots of damage, but Garen, so tanky, flashes out. He's still more than half HP. And if there is already reinforcements here on their side of things, it's gonna be a not even 1-for-1. Anito survives there while Diamaze is angry, finding 2 kills for himself. Still, Yato is dead. Another person is going to be falling down blank. Right now, only Senor is left alive. So this is definitely going to be a Baron call. The whole SULO squadron is making their way as a train heading towards this Baron side of things. Flaco securing a deep ward right here, spotting out any possible contest from the iTamaraws here. But SULO seems like this time around they're not playing games. What I said earlier, them executing more, them executing cleaner is definitely what they have done during this game. Showing iTamaraws, hey, we're not going down with the fight. You win the first game, which we should have won. We're not gonna make the same mistake twice. This time around, SULO really delivering, really executing well. Especially, just to point, if I had to point out one specific player, it's Blasphemy on this Rengar, really showing us what he's capable of. Right now, he's 4-1-6 and really helping his team out. Diamaze as well, 7-0-4 right now. No deaths just yet on this Saya, dishing out so much DPS. So iTamaraws right now are on the back foot, 7k gold, 8k gold down right now, facing a fully Baron up team, having a 1-3-1 setup right now. Yato, you gotta find something here, man. You're gonna be going up against this Rengar, but you are getting collapsed on. You are getting jumped on right now. There are reinforcements. I don't think you're gonna live to see another day, Yato. You do have Guardian Angel, but it doesn't matter. No angels can save you from your inevitable death right here against the fully baroned up SULO squad. Blitzhold gets casted, however, onto Flaco, but just not enough damage right here. Follow-up coming out from the iTamaraws, but just sheer damage. Retaliation, Milen on that Moonfall stops that retaliation play. Flash in coming from all of the members of SULO, helping them secure that full team ace against the FIT iTamaraws. No one left alive. It's definitely going to be a game being secured by SULO right here. So that's gonna be it. And that's going to be a 1-1 right now for PNU SULO against FIT iTamaraws. Really, really well played game from them right here. So definitely a level up, if I would say so myself, coming from that first team, which was already actually very impressive given that they're the underdogs coming in to this game. So Sulo really, stepping up right now in the quarterfinals, really showing us that they have grown. You know, they've done so much to get to where they are right now. So looking at the stats in this game, actually very impressive. Only one, two, three, four deaths being spread out all across the players of Sulo, showing us that they are playing the map very well. They're playing it very smart. And on the other side of things, Itamaraos, I think they need to consider banning out this Rengar heading into the next game. I believe their bans heading into this game were Ari and Camille. Maybe they switch out that Ari ban this time around. Put in that Rengar ban. We'll have to see what sort of adjustments that they need to, what sort of adjustments they're going to show us. But that's gonna be the second game for this series. Again, this is a best of five, so not all is lost. Definitely, it's 1-1 right now, so it's gonna be either of these teams' game. So very excited to cast the next set of games. So once again, before we head into a quick break, this is the University Alliance Cup, and this wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. Again, UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor. ASUS, ROG, Moon 5, our presenting sponsor. Logitech G, our gear partner. Riot Games, our publishing partner. Twitch Student, our platform partner. So once again, it's been me, Zerk, and my buddy here, OSX. He's kind of, I don't know, lost somewhere in the world right now. Hopefully he'll be back to cast for us in the next game. But for now, we'll be taking a quick break, and stay tuned, folks.
Quarterfinals sound. What is that? It is over here. Quarterfinals sound. What is that? It is over here.
Three, two, one, go!
Lions Cup Season 2 for Wild Rift, and we are again in the playoffs right now in a very heated best of 5 series between the FAU Institute of Technology iTamaraws and the Philippine Normal University SULO. In the very first game, we did see PNU SULO come out on top in the early game, but things got really out of hand, and the iTamaraws were able to turn things around despite a considerable goal deficit. While in the second game, it was just basically PNU SULO playing a much cleaner game and executing their team comp much better compared to the FIT iTamaraw. So very exciting game 3 in store for everyone. And I'm again, my name is Berserk. With me as OSX, but I think he's still taking his time to set things up, since unfortunately his side over there, they were hit by a power outage. So we shilling a bit right now, guys, and let's see if he can join us later once the game starts. But for now, it's gonna be me first talking about this matchup. So just a bit of a background for those who have just joined us right now. FIT iTamaraws, they are actually the favorites in this matchup. Um, coming out second in their group, while Sulo coming out third. So iTamaraws as well, part of their roster is O and Yato, who are known to come from LOL PC Collegiate. So there's a lot of experience right there. So for me, that's a very big deal. And that's why they are actually the favorites to win this thing. But Sulo have proven to us, especially with their very clean 19-4 game 2. They've shown us that they can really go to toe with this team. No, so right now we are already in the pick and ban phase. Again, apologies for my voice. I am hit. If OSX is hit by a power outage, I've been hit with a sore throat. So apologies for the low volume. But going back, talking about this drafting phase, it seems like just as I said in the end of game 2, seems like the iTamaraws are now opting to ban out the Rengar of Blasphemy, which has been such a headache to deal with. So um, in turn, it's gonna be a Gragas and Camille ban, and that Ari ban is still there actually. So it's a very interesting first pick, Jarvan, on the side of the iTamaraws. There are a lot of open picks which aren't the Jarvan. There's still that Ziggs, you know. There's the Lee Sin, but no, they opt to take the Jarvan. On the other side of things, Sulo going for that Corki and Jana. I'm surprised that they didn't go for the Ziggs and the Jana instead, knowing that the Ziggs went through the ban. So given that, iTamaraws actually decide to go for the Ziggs themselves. So we do know that Ziggs and Jarvan, that's a very deadly combination, with that Cataclysm being followed up by the Mega Inferno Bomb while everyone is trapped. And Jarvan is also a tank, so that's something that Ziggs absolutely needs. And their second rotation is also going to be paired with that Fiora split push threat. So I think this three core is already well set up for the draft of the iTamaraws. And on the other side of things, Sulo, on the other hand, it's going to be a Garen getting picked up, so that's solid tank for their team. And Diana still being up is definitely going to be secured by the side of Sulo. They are very comfortable playing that Diana. I think they just opted to take away that Corki early from the side of the iTamaraws. As Neep said a while ago, Corki is in a very good spot right now in terms of the meta. So they do secure the Wukong pick as well, which has been the comfort pick of Sulo's jungler all throughout this um, series, I believe, and also the comfort pick of a lot of junglers, actually. Even though he's not really the highest priority jungler, there's Olaf, there's Vi, there's Lee Sin, things like that. So on the other side of things, it's gonna be the virus being secured by the side of the iTamaraws and the Galio support to protect heroes, and the hero's entrance of the Galio is gonna be very crucial in protecting their team against the Moonfall of the Diana, as well as the magic damage from the Corki. So Poke Varus right here with Poke Ziggs is gonna be a very scary pairing actually for the side of FIT. I like their comp a bit more, but we've seen PNU Sulo execute very, very well. As we see here, they're making a very strong, how do you say? That's a very strong impression in the early game. Just grouping up as 5, trying to spot out any stragglers right there. But they have retreated right now into their safe space. As well as FIT iTamaraws, just a bit of a slow pace um, in the early game right here. So, FIT iTamaraws right now and PNU SULO. Not a lot of shenanigans right here. Milan able to spot the Jarvan right here since he was able to surprisingly secure mid lane priority against that Ziggs. Meanwhile, in top lane, dueling against Anito and this Garen. Not the riposte doesn't land, but that's fine. Nothing to keep note of right here, but Anito has been found to be pretty low. And this is first blood potential. Garen has the barrier, but actually flashes and does not give any time for Anito to react to that play. So that's gonna be the first blood being secured by for the iTamaraws. Meanwhile here, it's gonna be a flank engage potentially for Blank on this Galio, but he opts to just back out given it's a double range matchup. Because if that fails, especially because Blasphemy is on the bottom side of the map, then they're gonna be in Filipino, mahotdog sila. Right? So, given that it's gonna be a trade of scuttlers for both junglers in the early side of things, there is a good lead for iTamaraws coming from that first blood care of O. So, that's definitely going to be playing towards one of the win conditions of the iTamaraws, which is to play on the split pushing Fiora. If you think about it, PNU SULO, there's not a lot of, there's actually nobody who can deal with the split pushing Fiora if this Fiora continues to snowball. Garen sure he's a tank, but he's gonna be shredded down since vitals are gonna be proc, which are based on max health, by the way. Diana is also not great into Fiora. It's actually counter matchup if they are ever to converge in a single lane. So that's gonna spell a bit of trouble. As we head into the 2-minute 30 mark, we do see Orphic wanting to steal away the enemy Raptors, but it's just going to reset right here as Blasphemy just sits that one out, spotting that play about to happen. So he goes for his Raptors himself, not willing to give that one up. Raptors, if just for everyone to know, it's the most worth it jungle camp aside from the Scuttle Crab because it does give 190 gold and it's very easy to take. So again, going back to the state of the game, it seems like that gold lead has slowly out. It all seems like there hasn't been first blood at all. Taken gold, but still, this is definitely going to be felt in the top lane in the form of your 700 lead right there, and the gold script is shrunk. Wukong has far better compared to the guy. We do see that he has a 400 gold lead compared to him. But getting into this Dragon, no Jace getting picked up from either. No Jace getting picked up either from those. But like to just Dragon in case you can secure some priority upside. All for the members who lost.
Okay, going back. Hello, Berserk. Good evening. Hello. Yes, going back to the game. Apologies for that, guys. Weather conditions, but the game has to continue. And thank you for calling for Zerk for making it all happen. And this is the battle of FIT and PNU SULO continuing in for our game of the night. So this 1-0 already. And so far, the build is in the side of Ziggs as Yato taking in the Luden's Echo. And we are focusing on Fiora, probably getting in the first Triforce in. And for this Jarvan for seeing it on a first time again of FIT for this match. And this one for the overall score of PNU SULO 1-1. Same head-to-head match is going to be up against these two amazing campus squads. And to have this on this second game 1-1. Infernal Drake is ready, and we're going to focus it on and weigh it on PNU to have this weight on their side. Mega Inferno Bomb goes in, and the follow-up goes pushes through. Satchel Charge not make it to scare you back. and they are now preying on the Infernal Drake. Not starting or initiating the fight here, and that is still a reconnaissance mode for FIT.
Yeah, this actually, if you take a look at the Baron, it's gonna be a forced recall from O side because he doesn't have any. Actually, that's where the Garen can find an all. The Fiora push. Fiora is eventually going to run out of. Right now, both of these teams have yet to commit to Dragon. There hasn't been any real either way. I like this play from both. iTamaraws right here still ahead, pulling ahead. Okay, Goldie right. Always still at a very advantageous.
Yep, and as they try to make it advantages on their side, they would try to put in some additional waves in for this objectives. Baron and Infernal Drake is up, and they're waiting to take this objective as FIT secure this ward. Secure vision and wards here in the Rift Herald. Probably gonna take this. Orphic might start the fight. And this might be a trade on who's got to get the Rift and who's to get the Inferno. One of the important drakes in this game, and they might want to have this on their side as well for PNU SULO. A contest fight may happen because they don't get Rift Herald right now who's going to be taken, but they're focusing to take this Inferno on their side. The damage has been happening, and now you're seeing the corruption and damage coming from that Senor, and as they try to take it in, Backline's coming to push through, and that is Senor going in from the back, and the advance goes in for PNU to take down the last hits, but there has been a trade and taken that Infernal, and that is the Rift Herald as well for the exchange up top.
Yeah, PNU SULO, although they were able to secure that Infernal Drake, like you said, the very, very crucial trade-off from the iTamaraws on top side of things further places O in a position of immense snowball, if I would put it. So, given that, I think that it's very clear for the iTamaraws that they should be playing towards this player. Not sure why he's still being sent top lane right here, but actually it's fine for him to split push and just keep the Garrett in check for that permanent source of pressure. But yeah, FIT iTamaraws, since it's still in the really into mid stage of the game, this Infernal Drake is yet to be much felt. So this gold lead is it's much more significant compared to that buff.
Yes, and for this security take, they might PNU Solo has taken the opportunity of taking this first Drake on their side because as we try to build more items, we have Z-Mice, and you need to look after Milen. Corky, Diana, and Flaco. Having this composition, have this perfect set might come from Milen, but you're going to be countered in. If you want to have a perfect set, you're going to be countered in by Orphic with a Catalyst. It's too much crowd control in these two squads. They can totally give a good fight for the clashes, and as well as they're trying to make their way in the scores here, they're just trying to take out the turret down below as they're trying to make their way and damages, as you're seeing PNU trying to prey on this isolated two members out Orphic, and for the advance there, they're trying to pick on Ao as well as they try to focus this. They might secure some vision here, and so far there's no trade and response on the side of FIT.
Yeah, SULO seems like they were blocked by the side of iTamaraws, being read very well, but they just pivot to the mid lane and they can siege this just as well. Given that Yato on the Ziggs. Oh, hold on.
Oh, again for the Super Mega Inferno bomb with the reviver for the GA. Now Z-Mice maintains the auto, continuing from that move for the escape. He uses the Cyclone for that advantage with no overextensions at all. They try to weigh in and be cautious of the next steps. If they put this overextension in, something might happen, but that is the set initiated by Milen. Now they're having this counter back, but no follow-up or opportunity there. That might come from FIT, but so far they're taking this slower for Zerk.
Yeah, that was a beautiful moonfall by Milan right there. It's just that for some reason the players of the SULO squad were let's just say a bit hesitant to follow up. Maybe they were scared of the retaliation damage coming out from Varus and Ziggs. However, that mid lane tier 1 tower was stopped from going down, and that's really the key thing for PNU SULO right there. But both these mid tier 1s are actually just living on a sliver of HP. So
Oh, yes.
both those are gonna be taken down sooner or later, especially maybe even before the second Drake spawns.
Oh yes, that will be the chance for them to make make another clash in. The gold might be in the side of FIT, but the items, Corki having the Triforce, you have the Ana taking the ROA, and also have Garen taking that classic deflect. You have the burst coming in from Ao, and as well as Senor, the corruption strike, and as well as the arrow that can totally pierce in a lot of control once the clash has been started. So he might be countered by Z-Mice if Yato goes in, because the amount of control is still balanced on these sides, because it's up to them on who's gonna make the first pick off. Ao can be first, and Flaco might be the one to totally disrupt good set. But if you're in a good set, Orphic might be the one to initiate FITs. This might be the chance to take on a clash. But right now they're playing on the pit, and the ultimate is out for Yato for the first initial stages. But right now they're inside of the catalyst and totally being knocked up there, but they totally escape the wrath. But that is the follow from Milen, and the damage continues to pull through the way of FIT as they try to make it for a spin there, as they try to trade in for the autos, and the follow-up goes in for the last hits of Blank for that disengage.
I mean, SULO really coming out on top there, and that is to be expected because it was a 5v4 while all of that is happening. But first of all, wait, Ziggs, I think you're going to die here no matter what happens. So you just take that as a given. But looking at what happened, on this Fiora was just split pushing the whole time. So let's take a look at this team fight right here. Preemptive use of ults from Ziggs and Janna just to trade HP values, but that amazing Moonfall once again from Milan. He's been very on point on this Diana all throughout the series so far. Was able to, really put a foothold in terms of the control of that team fight on the side of PNU SULO. But still, nevertheless, we do see 10.7k right now worth of gold is in the pockets of the Fiora. That's going to be a very menacing set to deal with.
Oh yes, the burst, the power. He has the GA now for Ao. He might be split pushing in any time now, and as we enter the mid game, they might want to secure some more waves to be settled in their side. PNU FIT still close. They're not dwelling into clashes and team fights right now for Cirque because they're trying to maintain discipline, balance, the items, the objectives, and maintaining vision is their key way of maintaining this, because actually FIT and PNU are still putting up a good fight with one another, because from the previous fight rather during the Dragon Pit, they knew Orphic was going to set up some perfect catalyst pit there, because they already knew that if a perfect set goes in, Flaco might be their chance to disable Orphic right out of the bat. But right now they're just focusing on their jungles, sweeping some minions, taking down some turrets, not getting some overextended engage, and this might be the best way to balance. But if it boils down to one big clash, that's going to be a make or break game.
Yeah, make or break game indeed. We have seen in this series and the last series as well today that just one clash into the mid to late game, these teams are not afraid to pull the trigger and just go for the jugular and end the game outright. So right now, gold lead, it's actually just mirrored. It's very, very, very even. So anyone's game right now, but obviously advantage falls into SULO's hands because they have secured both the Infernal and the Ocean Drake. But still, we do know what a Ziggs can do in the late game, especially if nobody can touch the Ziggs. So it's going to be on Blasphemy and Milen to punch through a hole from the front in the front lines and be able to really just dive this Ziggs, because there's no Janna for this engage. There is the Galio, but both the Ziggs and the Varus are pretty open to getting erased as long as flanks are there on the side of SULO.
Correct. And as they maintain this, they will see a proper isolated member out of FIT or PN. If they take that chance, that would be their advance. But right now, that's Al taking for the grand chance for the escape, but he is still being preyed upon Milen for that, because they're trying to have this contest on the bottom lane, because the burst is still powerful coming in the side of FIT. Fiora, and that's the engage, or if it goes in for the knockup, fall back in for the pit. That's one member out. Blasphemy on the trade, but right now continues follow up for the knockbacks, and the crowd control is still gonna make it to the safety on the side of PNU SULO. Not overextending, but Ao is taking the last of the ultimate. You're gonna use that GA in for the follow-up of the hits. She's safe, and FIT is gonna live another one.
Really great find by Anito right there using the ult to burn the Guardian Angel proc right here. A bit of a greedy recall here from Senior. Don't be recalling there while in this stage of the game. But yeah, the third Drake has already spawned Mountain Drake, and first to control that area of the map is indeed PNU Sulo. While Fiora is there split pushing on top side, I presume that there is TP available for them, but it's gonna be a fight soon to break out.
Oh, Blasphemy guarding the dragon right now. The smite is ready, but it's still Orphic going for the last hit. But Mega Inferno maintains the steal, going out Yato. I've taken the steal, and now we're not going back for an engage. It might be this possibility, an opportunity to make it through, but Ao is split pushing up top, and not any one is totally getting to that contest at all. They were Yato was just on point in maintaining and dropping that ultimate for Zerk.
Yeah, that was an exceptional ultimate right there. Maybe a bit of nerves being felt by Blasphemy on this Wukong. After all, he's not on the Rengar anymore. So he is on this Wukong. So right now, I feel like FIT Itamaraws, they still need to play towards their win condition, and that is the split pushing Fiora. And on the side of the Sulo squad, they really have to find flanks against the four core members of FIT Itamaraws, or at the very least play towards picking off this Fiora if ever Fiora overextends, if ever overextends on this Fiora on the side lane. But yeah, I think that in terms of execution, it's a bit easier for FIT Itamaraws. Garen has already become that annoying tank level creature that he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Anito there. Oh, I'm gonna use this IGN overextend. It totally rhymes back right there. Overextend. Anita is just trying to pick on Garen right now. She has the items, she has the damage, she has the burst. So probably he's just gonna unlock and keep it flowing for his grand challenge. He's just trying to find the weak point of Anito, and he can totally withstand deflected damages. But right here, she's totally in the turret's Grace in taking some additional damage to how if ever she advances, but not too much over with the extending. She maintains back and just keep the minions on the side of FIT.
Yeah, I mean, as it was evident in the early game as well, eventually a Fiora will run out of mana, but a Garen will not run out of HP because of his passive.
Oh yes.
So as long as this Garen can successfully block this Fiora, there is a very good chance that Zulu will be able to eventually find an opening against the four members of the Itamaro squad. Um, yeah, but Itamaros, they have yet to really commit to sieging down the tower. For example, mid lane, I feel like they're also capable of doing something like that, just committing to that as long as they know where the Diana could possibly flank from. Then they should be able to easily take down this mid lane tier 2 because they do have the Ziggs and the Varus for that poke and siege potential.
Oh yes, they have totally all hands on deck because 3 to 5 for Zerk in 20 minutes. Elder Dragons is in. This scoreboard is totally unreal. They're waiting for the proper stage, for the proper setup, for the proper engage, not overextending too much, but being cautious. But right now, both FIT and PNU focusing on taking some minions, objectives, and as well as maintaining vision on both sides of the map because as they try to strengthen their items, collect, and finally finish them, I think that's their way of doing it. Maintaining discipline, perseverance, having that control that in the perfect timing right now, somebody's gonna rise and somebody's gonna fall. But if you get to that execution, it's gonna be one heck of a fight.
One heck of a fight is something I'm really expecting right now. Given that this is the Elder Drake about to spawn, and the tension is rising for sure. Completely even game right now for both of these squads. It's going to come down to who can execute better, who can actually pressure the side lanes enough to kind of screw up the plans of Sulo. But I'm not sure that Sulo is gonna have any of that. They're just grouping as 5 right now, wanting to take down this like mid tower. But no, they still back off, giving breathing room to split push once again. So right now, Elder Drake has been started by Sulo. They might commit to this. We'll have to see.
Oh, Smite challenge might happen, and this time around, Orphic is ready, and as well as Yato, his ultimate is probably ready. And Blasphemy has also the edge in maintaining and sustaining this team fight and damage. He has the GA. Both of the jungles of FIT and PNU has the GA, but right now, as they try to get that Drake, yeah, we have Anito and Ao just trying to pick off one another up top, but this is now trying to have initiated the fight right here. Ultimate comes in from Senior, but the follow-up continues to flow an opportunity. That's the catalyst. Orphic setting it up in, but that was a burn. But another wave pushes for the side of minions of FIT. No engage or disengage, but that is Melenthe in for the rush. Follow up again for Z-Mines, falling for the back lines, and Orphic gets in for the auto and damages, and follow up for Yato. Satchel won't make any safety, but he's frozen in stasis, but he has been preyed upon. That's 4 against 1, trapped in the middle, trapped in between, and too many. PNU. Oh, and still Anito and has his own world up top, maintaining. You're not split pushing up top. We're securing this, and this is the Drake taking in by PNU.
So a very big win by PNU SULO right there in the 4 versus 4 in the mid side of things. Milen in particular able to find the number of Senior and Yato in the backline. So priority targets getting locked down right there by the Diana. Extremely well played by him. But on the other side of things, in the Baron lane, O was able to secure that tier 3 inhibitor tower. So that's great for the iTamaraws. Things are not yet done. Nothing's set in stone just yet. But this Elder Drake in the hands of PNU SULO, that's definitely going to come in as a very important element in the succeeding team fights in this game.
Correct, Berserk. That one, even the clash in the mid lane was totally. They're trying to give way for Ao to push into the last inhib turret of PNU while being busy and in probably distracting them because they were not totally initiating a fight at all. They were trying to hold them in. You're not going anywhere because we have Ao, our secret agent, taking down inhib turret to make it. I think they're trying to set up a fail-safe strategy here, and as you can see, Ao and Anita just picking off on it, and he's trying to get in for the tier 2 turret. And as of this time, Baron is still going to get their hands busy. This one, Stasis, frozen in Stasis, FIT, paid upon 2-2 with a follow-up there for the Moonfall and Rush and the PNU. The damage still goes through a double kill, and that is PNU maintaining that kills of continued sweet kills from for that Baron take.
And that's all she wrote, folks. I feel like PNU SULO, they were able to carry the ball, dribble it across half court, and just find a few players of iTamaraws just waiting, staring at them. That was iTamaraws dropping the ball on the other side of things, and this is just knocking on their door right now. PNU SULO.
Right, knock on heaven's door here, and FIT is still maintaining to pop that GA, but it's PNU on the rush, taking the base of destruction, and that is another score from PNU, maintaining the aggression and damage for that game.
Just like that. I mean, honestly, a bit anticlimactic because PNU were able to, just catch off guard a few players from the FIT squad, and that's not really how you wanna win or lose the game. I mean, no, that's not how you wanna lose the game if you're FIT. You wanna lose the game if ever you are to lose the game, like really moving forward with your win condition, having O split pushing and stuff. We do see 1-0 and 1 for O scoreline right there. It's very misleading, because he's done so much work to help elevate his team during that game, but just 1, 2, 3 small slip ups in the late game is enough to just hand over the game towards to their opponents.
Yes, and what's holding them back is they had this problem in getting their kills in, and one of which is they had problems in getting more kills in the side of FIT, because if you maintain some sort of objectives right after the game has finished, it all will check if you have dealt enough damage, and as well as the power that can be built in approaching mid to late game. So while we were trying to have first degree connected, one of the best moments in that game is nobody's taking the kills, nobody's totally they have chances of advancing and taking some drakes, some Rift Heralds in, but the big problem is they were lacking some kills and funneling it to the ADC in the side of FIT, and it all boiled down for taking of the side objectives, the side jungle monsters, and once you had that thing you're in a state of a match point, they will all focus on taking the leap further on whose team has the advantage had the advantage of taking some kills during the early game, and just PNU just took it right away, right off the game on game three.
Yeah, nonetheless, that game was filled with so much tension. It was the closest game by far among the three games so far in this best of five series. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, just as in the previous series, the Tigers coming through, getting a 3-1 against the TUP Gearhawks. Right now, Sulo is in the same exact position as the Tele Tigers, 2-1 right now against the favorites iTamaraws. So, possibly another repeat of what happened in the first series in store for everyone.
Right. And as we continue the game of the night, there's a lot of things in store for PNU and FIT, one of the closest matches of the day. And if you're one of the campus representatives or the students who's joining in to join the fight right now, keep the love flowing in the live chat, because this is a shout out to our partners here at Logitech G, because if you want to keep playing, you're in for a treat in getting that 175 discount. So if you're looking to supercharge your gaming setup and to keep playing, check out Logitech's amazing gaming gear at logitech.acadarena.com and type exclamation point Logitech G, sorry, and in the chat to get that 175 discount with a minimum purchase of 1750 on any Logitech G product. So you're up for a treat. Better chat that right now.
Right, you are, and I mean, this now I really don't know what to expect because both of these teams have shown us
Mm-hmm.
that they can really walk the talk in terms of draft. They've really shown us that they know what their win conditions are,
Mm-hmm.
and they've shown us that they can execute those their team compositions very well. So I don't know. I think both of these teams are actually playing out of their minds. I think it just comes down to who can make the fewer mistakes, especially um in the aspect of reading the map and staying safe, not really overextending individually.
Yes, and you know what? They're probably in the waiting game in game three for Zerg. Nobody's taking some kills. Nobody's taking some risks, and it all got down to the point that it's already time to have a clash. And while trying to see the possibility there, they were lacking some in the side of FIT. They were lacking some damages, but in this best of five series, there's a lot of opportunities to fill in, because 2-1 is not that far over, and you might be your opportunity might show in the next game.
Indeed, and speaking of opportunities, um, not a lot of opportunities, I would say, when it comes to the draft, but I do feel like this Ziggs really the Ziggs kind of has to get no, sorry, the Diana has to get answered. So
Mm-mm.
I think that the FIT squad, they have answered the Rengar. Now maybe it's time to answer this Diana with a ban, because Diana is ban worthy, especially now because uh the what do you call this? The Sula squad are piloting the Diana pick very, very well in terms of both micro and macro. So
It is.
maybe you gotta take that factor out potentially and force their mid laner into something different to kind of shake him off the momentum that he's been building himself all throughout the series so far.
Yes, you know what? The cooldown of Diana's ultimate, the rush, the moonfall, she can totally set up a good fight. And with combined with different composition of champions, maybe Gragas or even Oriana as well. If you want to you want to pair up with other follow up for her shockwave, there's a lot of opportunities in using Diana because of her cooldown. The skill cooldown is totally the best way to move forward in terms of ganks, the rushes, and the engages as well in team fights. As Ferzerk mentioned, there's a lot of game changes, game plays to happen in this set of matches, because PNU SULO has taken 2-1 already against FIT. As they try to maintain this, they need to have it countered on this banning stage. So take it away, Zerk.
Yep, so we already do have our bans right here. So still the retained bans from the last match is still going to be the same for game 4 right now. So
Mm-hmm.
that Diana is left open, but Camille as well. So it seems like the Zulu squad are going to be prioritizing Camille over their Diana, and it's going to be the Fiora lock in once again by the
Yep.
iTamaraws. They know that this Fiora is a counter to Diana, but they have something special in store. Maybe they want to secure the Diana, that Diana for themselves, and they do lock that in.
Yeah, and they're maintaining this pick. Ao is not yet done with Fiora. So they want that burst, but the problem is they're maintaining this champions. Counters might happen because they're probably seeing the gameplays from the series, and one of the things that they're trying to show is the the wind of opportunities of using the same champions might come what might show a different way of using this meta if they have a different as you've mentioned, if they have a different surprise for this, maintaining Diana for the counter. And as they try to pick on few heroes here, you have Jana, Galio, and Garen going for the control, disrupt, disengage, and Corky making it back again in this game.
Yeah, it seems like the Corki has been very pivotal for whatever team that's
Mm-hmm.
picking him up. So that's something I can probably expect once again for this game.
Oh yeah.
Very very interesting to see both of these comps. I think both these team comps have a good good balance. Okay, there is that Garen as the tank for the side of Sulo, being
Mm-hmm.
supported by the Janna. It's gonna be very tough to whittle the tanky boy down. They have the engage coming from the Camille Galio combination, consistent damage from the Corki. So that's that. And on the other hand, the iTamaro squad, they do have two split pushers, however. In the form of
Yeah.
the Diana and Fiora, compared to Sulo's one in that of the Camille. So there's that opportunity for the Itamaro squad. They also have the Saya, which has been, pretty successful so far. Based on today's matches, I think Saya's in a pretty good position right now in terms of Dragon Lane carry. And as I say that, we have already loaded in to the game. No encounters, no 5v5 clashes before the worst first waves converge. So it's gonna be PNU Sulo against FIT Itamaraws once again. Game 4. 2-1 right now. Sulo in the lead.
Game for everybody, and this tournament is presented by ASUS Republic of Gamers, powered by the reigning king of smartphones, the ROG Phone 5, with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 with a 144Hz AMOLED display and a massive 6000 mAh battery to take your gaming experience to the next level, and the hashtag for those who dare, available in the nearest ASUS and ROG accredited stores nationwide, and hop onto rog.acadarena.com to check it out. We're gonna need those ROG5 phones right now for a second because the action continues to happen in PNU and FIT.
Yeah, I know. ROG Phone 5, that's the gaming phone that you really want. But as for what both of these teams want, it's definitely to win this game for Sulo. It's match point for
Oh, yeah.
iTamaraws. It's the chance to tie things up and play for one more, and it's gonna be very spicy. Sulo, they've really showed us, man, that they've got it. They've got what it takes to defeat the favorites right here in this series. Nothing so far. It's gonna be a trade of map pressure, top on the side of FIT and bot for the side of Sulo. However, it's gonna be a blue buff invade from Sulo right here, while the iTamaraws jungler has not really opted to go for anything aggressive. It's gonna be met with Milen on that Galio. I don't think Orphic knows he's there in the brush, so this could spell a bit of danger perhaps, but Fiora is there, always there to help support.
Oh yeah, and it's trying to take this blue. Oh, you're countered by Milan, and the silence goes to pull through for that. Orphic gets him with the last hit. The auto connects, but that is the first kill. Anito takes it for the first blood on that engage in the blue. Oh, the steals are happening right now, Berserk.
Yeah, I mean, wow, you know what? That's a next level play from Milen right there. Leaving the next wave mid, positioning early in their blue buff, knowing that that counter jungle would occur from Orphic. So he basically enabled their team to make that macro rotation, coming out with that first blood in favor of them. Definitely 1k, more than 1k gold lead right now in favor of SULO.
Yes, and you know what? One of the things that's happening here is trying to get more kills in this side as PNU Solo is maintaining this wave and controlling the jungles. The steals happening right now. There's 2 versus 1 right in the middle, but the disengage is following through because not. This is too soon to be called another great way of fighting this over an PNU Solo. I think FIT needs also to maintain their objectives, make their way through the pushes and the clashes. But you know, in this composition, maintaining this way as Milena started that blue, taking that blue. They have the advantage of pushing further 2-0 as of this time because the best way to deal with this is Yato might hold the mid lane, but as tankier as Gali in the in Milen in the middle lane side or in the middle lane, he can totally withstand the damage that might come from Yato.
Yeah, definitely right there. Galio having that AP magic shield will definitely serve as a deterrent from all-ins coming in from Yato right here. Unless, you know, Orphic comes in to influence that sort of matchup. But right now, it's very important to note SULO with more than a 2k goal lead heading into this dragon fight. They are leaving O2 get matched by Anita here in top side, and this time around it's O on the back foot. Seems like the Garen's ahead. As I say that though, almost a fight breaking out there, but just a scuffle. Both these teams backing off, but Anito responding for this dragon take, not really giving a care to what happens to the Baron lane.
No, they don't care. PNU is trying to take this first Drake on their side, but not waiting for FIT to push in. But they're now trying to have this on the first Ocean Drake without any contest at all. No vision, no follow-up there. But as they try to maintain and getting these objectives, PNU makes that away. So makes that chance of taking that objective. But right now, ASUS just pushing to the turrets, taking this chance and opportunity, but you're still waiting for the team to follow up. But for this, you know, the composition of Senor and Blank can be a good chemistry and making an engaged hand right now. Anita is being trapped in, and you're now being trapped in the cycle with the follow-up there for the Glacial Fisher, and having the receiving entrance, the late receiving entrance of that Feather Storm was totally unnecessary for that engage.
Yeah, I mean, nonetheless, it was a great tower juggle, tower aggro juggle from the side of FIT AcadArena. 3v1 diving that guy in under tower. Anita still did not have Gargoyle stone plate there to help him survive. So, although he is a tank, he's not that tanky just yet. So, good play on the side of FIT AcadArena right there. I think it's also attributable to the fact that SULO sent a bit too much bodies to punish that. Not to punish but to block the top lane tier 1 from getting pushed down. And speaking of that, it does fall down right now, coming from the tempo that the FIT AcadArena squad have generated for themselves.
Oh yes, and looking at the items right now, you have Corgias Triforce, you have Camila Triforce as well. ROA for Galio, he needs the magic damage, he needs a tankier build to follow up for the scale, and probably Garen getting with the classic Sunfire Cape as well. You need to deflect some damages, and this one with no vision and contest at all. Another take for PNU for taking this Rift Herald.
Yep, really great move by SULO right here. They have the dragon, first Drake to their name. They have the first Rift, not the first, but the only Rift Herald. This isn't old PC. My bad there. So they are in the driver's seat right now. They have the tempo. However, they are one turret down compared to FIT AcadArena. They only have that mid lane tier 1 standing, but as long as that remains as long as that stands strong, then SULO, they're still in a very good spot. Scaling into the late game, especially because we've seen in this series that Corki late game is very scary, maybe even just as much as Ziggs.
It is, and looking at the fact that he can just totally have an escape of using Zmai's ultimate is totally the best key to slowing down team fights and as well as contributing to the damage coming in from the back. But you have Galio for the entrance, you have Blasphemy for the ultimatum. They have the advantage of a bit of delay to set this up for a perfect hits for Zmais to pull through. He has the exhaust, and not to mention he still has full control to take down Senior. But the only thing here is there's a lot of airborns and knockups in the side of FIT that they can totally withstand the burst or damage that can come from PNU. You know, you have the Glitch Fissure, you have the Cyclone. One big complete setup in making the wipe in FIT.
Indeed, and it seems like what's being set up right now by SULO is a play onto Owen this Fiora, knowing that who's been split pushing all this time throughout games 1, 2, and 3, but it's not gonna be working out right here. Instead, they decide to go for that tier 1 push. It's going to be free. It's not gonna be contested or traded for another objective because the dragon is still yet to spawn. 15 seconds, however, before that comes up for them, and it's gonna be a double recall for the side of SULO right here to set up for this dragon take.
Yes, they will do this right now, but as they try to break down some turrets, PNU is still remaining in their lanes as try to sweep some minions in. They're now waiting for another waiting game in this match for Zerg because they're trying to weigh on the damages, full control power for PNU for F and FIT. And the match point will be in this Drake anytime soon. And Nito has started the party here as they try to control this, but you have Orphix just waiting to hit that proper to hit the Drake with a proper smite here. The challenge to continue to pull through, and you have Brom has set up the team fight with the backlines there with the hero's entrance. Orphic goes in, but the team receives the knockup, but the follow-up continues. In the side, in the back, up front, Anito takes in for the full hits, but no contest with the Drake at all. But the focus is taking on Orphic and Yatu out, making Senior the last member to hit, and Orphic receives that auto from Z-Maze, and now the breaking of the first turret goes to the side of PNU.
And there you have it. If in a prolonged team fight, it's really going to fall into the favor of SULO. They do have that Janna. They have a tanky boy, the Garen, and you know, if the iTamaraws players, their squad aren't able to really get to the backline, their priority targets using Diana, you know, Yato, even on this Fiora, they aren't able to flank perfectly, then it's gonna be very hard for SULO, for iTamaraws to find a team fight that's in favor of them.
Yes, and as we witness more of items being started or being built in the side of PNU, you have the Infinity Edge as well for Corki. Z-Mice is trying to maintain the 003, hasn't the assist for the most of the kills is being in the side of Camille and Garen. Mostly the ADC who goes in for the fight. Oh, another 4-man knockoff continues to pull through, and the whole X-Tech Ultimate is trying to delay the fight, and the action continues, but the Orphic is not going to be enough to make that defense back, but Z-Mice is still waiting and see this, but Blasphemy goes in for the advance. Camille pushing back up, but not overextending, but that was an opportunity to take that 7-2 now.
That was amazing from the side of PNU SULO. Very well spotted outplay right there, a tempo move. Even Galio ult wasn't invested there, so that just shows how powerful their team comp is. But on the other side of things, I think that O was able to find the pick-off against Anito on the bottom side of the map, but that did not really I mean, in terms of advantage or net effect, I feel like SULO still came out on top there significantly. You know, win in a team sometimes it's just much more felt than win in a 1v1. It really depends on the situation, but in that situation, since the Dragon lane is already a long lane, not a lot of room for O to get much out of that. So SULO still in the driver's seat right now. I think that O is found stuck.
Oh no, he is going to be 3 against 1 this time with the rush of Z-Maya is going for the follow. The Grand Challenge has been activated for the escape, but that is the advantage of Fiora at that time. But she was too close. He's taking that now for Zerk. Another follow-up. There goes the hero's entrance. Oh, perfect entrance right there in the side of PNU SULO with the follow-up, an opportunity to continue the fight, but the trade goes in for the knockup. Yato goes in stasis, but the advantage pulls through, and the advantage of FIT is to keep moving forward, but they're trying to get back and see the possibility of having it on another side. But that was totally the great opportunity to PNU for the follow, but FIT still remained on the other side of the defense.
Yeah, I like that Blasphemy pulled the trigger right there. It goes to show that why this Camille has been banned all throughout. As we take a look at this replay right here, just really great follow up from Sulo. iTamaraws kiting back as best as they can, but just the Jano from Flaco is just too disgusting. The
Yes.
sustain that just gives Sulo the staying power, the ability to not fall down after being retaliated upon. So FITI Tamaraws, they have to stick to their game plan. I think right now Sulo is finding a better entry point in terms of playing towards their win conditions, as they've shown in the previous games as well. So this is PNU Sulo just playing the way they've done in the previous games, and this is really showing right now. The advantage that this is giving them is showing right now.
Yes, I want to be wrong in my predictions right now for Zerk. You know, I wasn't. I in every prediction that that we do in ROG UAC, I want to be wrong. From the previous campuses that had a bad start, they're trying to rise up in the playoffs, and during the group stages, they have failure to the points. Because they can't be underestimated, because in a week long or 2 week in a 2 week preparation, they can totally rise up. They can probably mix and match metas and probably rise up to the challenge. But right now with the contest with the Infernal Jake, they continue the action, and the take continues to pull through. Grand challenge with the follow up there from the back, from the front. Hextech ultimate delays the possibility of FIT to fight back. But PNU goes in for the hero's entrance. Follow up there with the damages with the spin and the takedown for the last hit from the take into the dragon. The chase comes to pull through. PNU is breaking tier 2 turret.
And that might not be all the break here. The death timers are a bit long. Soonest to be up in 18 seconds. Are they going to end the game from this? I think they have enough time, OSX.
Not gonna be enough this time. PNU has taken the opportunity of taking the Infernal Drake on their side. It's with PNU in breaking FIT's base, and this is the game that we have been waiting for. Controlled power, perseverance, and discipline. PNU takes the game.
Okay, well, wow, I just an impressive and surprising showing from PNU right here. Who would have known that the quarterfinals today for the UAC for Wild Rift AcadArena, it would be a day for the underdogs.
Oh
First
yes.
match, it was the UST Tigers pulling through. I'm not first match, first series rather, but here in the second series, it's PNU Sulo really finding their groove, finding their way. You know,
I'm
um,
happy, I'm happy for Zerk. I am wrong. This is PNU. I think all of us were wrong actually in our predictions of this playoffs, and they have taken with a full strong 3-1. Ex- Unexpected, but hey, that's a good game of it for iTamaraws as well. Unexpected, but one big heck of a fight there for our second match of the day for this playoffs.
yeah, man. I mean, it just goes to show that favorites, the position of favorites, they are not static things. They're not fixed things. They are very um, volatile, but what really dictates who the better team is the growth. And it seems like Penusulo, they've improved so much compared to how they started out in this season of a UAC Wild Rift. So I think very well deserved. FITI Tamaraws, maybe they were caught a bit off guard, not expecting this sort of power level to come through out of a PNU Sulo's team. I
Mhm.
would be surprised as well if I were a player on iTamaraws. It's just wow, just a very impressive showing from Sulo, and congratulations once again to PNU for defeating the favorites, and that's the iTamaraws.
Oh yes, I think they're gonna be up against tomorrow in the semifinals against HAU Valiant Wings and FI and also UST Tigers are gonna be up against with CPU Golden Lion. Semifinals tomorrow at June 6th. we already come this far for Zerk, and seeing all of these squads grow from this chance and this moment, they have totally social potential, and as well as we are seeing growth. Since AcadArena is a one big great platform in expanding your potential in competitive play and pro plays in the future. Being a student at this time is so much too good to be true and too good to be alive, because as well as you're studying, as well as you're playing with AcadArena's plan, and also their hashtag, not just play. It's all about being exposed in different kinds of competitive plays, having different kinds of matchups. And right now, we're already approaching semifinals tomorrow with CPU and HAU.
Yep, it's gonna be a very, very spicy semifinal. CPU, the favorites to win it all. But just because of today, we've seen what these so-called favorite sort of setup
Yes.
can lead to, what sort of outcomes they can lead to. So Tele Tigers, can they bring out the best versions of themselves going up against the tournament favorites tomorrow? And on the other side of things, Valiant Wings as well. They are very strong. One or a couple of their players, as far as I know, has a lot of experience as well in the amateur pro scene in Wild Rift. So that's definitely something to look out for. And PNU, with their showing today, can they match that sort of level of power? So man, I'm very excited to see what how these matchups play out tomorrow.
Oh yes, semifinals, spicy and heated up already. Even in any weather condition, tomorrow is going to be one heated up arena for the semifinals. Best of the best. CPU, you're seeing again. You're seeing PNU. You're seeing UST, and as well as Holy Angel of Valiant Wings, and this might be their chance in making through and racing the campus torch. There's a lot of things in store for ROG UAC, and featuring League of Legends Wild Rift. And looking at the stats, they're just numbers, but in this setting, or even this game, we even all of us, even our predictions, even I'm lost for words, we're totally wrong, and that makes it so exciting. PNU takes it for the 3-1, and that was one heck of a fight for our game too.
Definitely right you are. And again, just be before we go, we just like to thank everyone once again for joining us, especially our amazing sponsors and partners. UAC 2021 is again powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor. ASUS, ROG Phone 5, our presenting sponsor. Logitech G, our gear partner. Riot Games, our publishing partner. And last but not the least, Twitch Student, our platform partner.
Oh yes, don't forget to follow AcadArena on TikTok, because there's a lot of surprises coming in your way, because the first 1,000 followers might have a chance to win the weekly giveaway. So go ahead and TikTok and follow AcadArena at AcadArena on TikTok. Okay, make sure to have that hashtag AA TikTok giveaway to make your entry count. And of course, our tournament is presented by the reigning king of gaming smartphones, the ASUS ROG Phone 5. So again, in behalf of the production and also the students who've made this all possible, we thank you again for your time, for being with us up until this hour. We'll see you again tomorrow for the semifinals. I hope you had fun. Continue to support your school tomorrow to raise the campus torch. And this has been OSX, and with me is Furzer, giving you a good night, and we'll see you again at the semifinals tomorrow in the ROG UAC Day 2 of the semifinals.